Hey everyone, welcome back to the show with Judith and myself, Nils. How's it going, Judith?
Hello, hello. Good, how are you?
Good. Also very good. We just realized before recording that this is already our 10th episode, mini anniversary in our prototyping hacking session. And so for the ones joining us only today, we totally recommend watching all the episodes before. But what we're doing is that we're using plain React and SuperBase to create a prototype style virtual bookshelf application with the goal to show you the entire process, including things that we stumble upon, the errors, ponderings, victories, of course, and the entire thing. And with that said, Judith, today we're going to build something you've been looking forward to. Do you want to walk us through it?
Yes. Today we're going to do something fun. We're going to implement a little star rating component. So we have our virtual bookshelf application and we can also rate the books. And so far that's just a number input, which is fine. But we thought it would be fun to have like little stars that you can click to leave your rating from, 1 to 5. So I think that's what we're going to do today.
Super cool. So here's one thing. First of all, Judith pointed out that it was kind of, let's say, UX to have, like, you want to see stars in the end, but you just get to enter like a number. So it would be cool to have the stars already here when you create a book or when you edit one. Second of all, now I can just completely destroy this entire thing and give something like 18 stars, which is... Maybe we just stick to the 0 to 5 like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. And then I think what you were looking for was that in the last episode, we started to implement this dialogue to look at all the details of one book.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was our accomplishment last time, that we moved the interactions to edit and to delete a button from the list view into our detail view. And so when we click on the pen now, it comes up and gives you like all of the fields filled out already, of course. And so on here, like we left off editing the list view, so to say, because we said currently the book items are a little bit unequal in their visual presence, right? Like they have a description and some notes. And so the last thing that we did was to experiment a little bit like with a line clamp of 1 on this. So we teasered the text, but we showed you the full version here. And so now that we have the control, we have all of the controls in this dialog, it would still be nice to be able to just rate the book, like to have that as the only functionality be available in here, that you can just open it up and click on the stars to change the rating. And that's what we are doing today, right?
Yes.
Cool. What do you reckon, what are our steps?
That's what I'm trying to think about. I actually think it's not completely trivial. So it's like a small little detail, and like you see it all over the internet. This sort of hover star rating behavior. But I think, there's quite a few things coming together, and in my head at least, we need to manage a lot of state. I think it's going to be like a big use state party today, because we need to manage the hover state to, just like start with a hover effect. Maybe that's even something we could start with.
Okay.
Set the rating, but just like the hovering. And for that, I would think we need state. Then when we click on a certain star, we want to set the rating. So that would be like our on-click action, kind of. And then something we touched upon briefly last time was like the topic of optimistic UI, I think. So what might happen if we click a star and we send the request to the backend, we might get like a little flickering effect, because probably our UI would reflect like the previous value, and then once the value is saved in the database, it would update the value. But yeah, maybe we start with the hovering. What do you think?
Totally. Let's start with the hovering. Now that we found out that our Lucid icons, that we kind of got integrated for free through our shared CN library, because they came with that, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We can use fill and stroke attributes directly. So I was wondering, maybe we can pull off the hover effect with CSS only, so to say. You know?
Yes. Yes, that would be nice.
So we don't have to do the state thing?
We can try that. My only concern is that like the single star has no awareness of its siblings in a way. Because, for example, if you hover the fourth star, you don't want the fourth star to be filled. You want the first four to be filled.
Ooh. That is true.
That's like, if you have an idea how we can do that with plain CSS, that would be awesome, because I agree if we don't need the state. But like what I was thinking in my head is we kind of need to track which star is currently hovered, and then we need to fill that one and all the stars that have like a smaller index.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean, because one of the biggest things that happened for CSS people last year was that we got the has selector. Ooh. And the has selector is, well, famously dubbed the parent selector, like it can do a million other things. But maybe we can actually get around doing this with the has selector. Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, so for my first attempt would have been to put like for fill and stroke. The first thing I wanted to try is if we can actually just go in here and say that we're gonna use like a var, like a CSS custom property, just like that. Mm-hmm. And so now, if we do this, let's see.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do we want to do this in this dialog component or on the main page where we list all the books? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe let's do it in the dialog component first, at least, because on the list we put the entire one book item in a button. So currently, I think we can solve for that if we wanted to. But let's try to make it work in the dialog first, and then see if we can get around it. All right, so
then you have to jump to the book details dialog, I think.
Oh, we don't even have to do... Oh, because I'm in the wrong thing. Oh, very good. Thank you. I'm so excited already. Let's get rid of all of this again, just to reset. Okay, yeah, that's very ugly. Cool. So book details dialog is our place to be.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so relax, Nils. We're all gonna make it work now. So here's the star. Okay, so since we are using Tailwind, I think we can even just go and do like we don't even have to use the attributes for stroke and for fill. I was hoping we can just go in here and do it right away, so to say. So like, does it have, hold on, let's just check quickly. Tailwind, fill, setting the fill color. Yeah, okay, so it does support it. That's all right. So
nice.
Let's try. Fill, yellow, 500. Nice.
Nice. That looks good.
And then we're going to say, so no. So what we kind of want, before we get to the whole selecting the preceding siblings as well, is that we want the stroke.
Yeah.
We want the stroke. We just want the stroke, right?
Yes,
and
we always want the stroke.
We always want the stroke. Ah, yeah, that's very good. So let's make them a little bit bigger. And
one thing we also want, I guess, is always 5 stars. Because right now we are rendering as many stars as was rated, but right now we always want 5, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe we just change this from rating to 5. We can put that in a const later or something, but for now.
You can do that? Are you serious? I never knew that. It's so cool. No, I didn't know. Like, before you did that, I was wondering, what do we have to do to get exactly 5 now?
I think it should work, right? Let's try it. But I mean, it's the same thing we did before, just that, I mean, before we did it with rating, which was our variable.
Yeah.
Now we're just hard coding 5. So.
Oh, so what? We're making an array of that is the length of 5.
Yeah.
And that, okay, cool. That is cool. All right, so now we always have 5 stars. Nice. And so generally, if we on hover, let's just pretend, right? Like on hover, we'd want the fill color to be yellow 500 as well. So if
exactly. So let's just try it with, yeah, that works. Nice.
Okay, that's cool. And then we also want cursor pointer, I think is the,
yes.
Right? Yes. So we have our little hand.
Nice.
Okay. So let's check quickly. CSS has selector. Select preceding siblings is, I think, what we want. Selecting previous siblings. Yes, this is, I was hoping that would come up. This is the best article that I found on the topic. I think he made like the cutest or her, I'm actually not sure. Yeah. So exactly. So this is already very interesting that the box is the parent. And we're asking the parent, do you have so plus is that always existed, right? So what we had before in CSS, before has came around, we could always select the next sibling. That was the plus selector. or
Yes.
selector, but the plus operator, not sure. Or you could have all of the following siblings with the tilde, right? That is what existed before. So, and if I understand this right, like has always breaks my brain a little bit, but it's amazing that it exists. So what we're now asking is there an element that is sort of, we're not specifying it, where the next sibling is a circle. And that's why we get the box.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, exactly. And now we can even...
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, that is super weird.
That's wild.
That is super wild.
Okay.
So we are looking for this one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we are essentially saying, like, hold on, let's go back to the HTML. Oh, they don't have it here? Oh, yeah, they do.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, oh no, it's even different. Oh, so cool. Okay, so we have 3 boxes, 1 circle and a box. Right on. And so in the thing that we want to do is we're selecting a box that... Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so mind-bending to me still. So I think if I would try to express this in plain English, we're asking a box if any of the siblings next to it, so to say, are a circle.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what
Okay.
we want to ask is, in our example, we want to get all the stars that have a star that is being hovered following. Right? Like our circle,
Yes,
the one,
yes,
our
yes, yes.
circle is the star that's being hovered. Yeah. I think that's the one. Okay, let's try.
So it's going to be a wild mix of this hair selector and then like the hover pseudo class, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, hold on. I think Tailwind also supports has now. Has. I thought so. Tailwind CSS has selector. Let's see. Yeah. Has. New has variant. All right, so you say has dash, then the arbitrary selector, and then what you want. Okay. So following the example that we had, like this example, since we're putting it right on our select, like on our element, we are on the box. We're saying the has part, right?
Yes, yes.
And now I think we need the tilde, and now
We need
and
the
now
pseudo class.
something like that. And now I think we can't have spaces, so we have to go underscore. And now we say fill yellow 500.
Whew. Nice.
Oh my god. I was honestly not expecting this to work right away, but hooray! Here we go. That is very cool.
I did not think we could pull this off with just CSS.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
Nice. So we just got to get rid of the gap, because otherwise you'll have like an area where you're not hovering. So now it's smoother.
Ooh,
cool.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm happy that worked.
That's super cool.
Cool.
Yeah, sometimes we need to trust plain CSS a little bit more. I think it has evolved so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super, super cool. Now,
okay.
A little challenge though.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to fill only on hover. We want to fill the rating, right? So
yes.
I mean, we are missing two things: displaying the actual rating and setting it with a click, I would say.
Exactly.
So I think the easier thing to do right now would be to also add this fill effect for the stars that are currently rated. So for example, this book we have open right now, it has some rating, I don't even remember which one, but let's say it's a 3, then the first 3 should already be filled by default, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
okay,
it's a
so
5.
yeah. And how can we do that?
How can we do that? I think maybe with like a dynamic class name. Do we have this CN stuff built in already here? Do you know what I mean? Where you can merge classes. Like so.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I wanted. So first we do that, which is the same as what we have right now, but then we can add more classes depending on certain conditions. So what do we want now? Kind of the same effect we have here. So we want fill yellow 500.
Yeah.
And when do we want that?
If the so we
rating.
have the key. So we have the hard-coded 5, and we have the rating.
Yes.
I feel like there should be some comparing going on somewhere.
Definitely, and I think it might be, so key, let me think, key is gonna be 0 indexed, I would say, so my best guess would be that key plus 1 should be less or equal to the rating. What do you think? Does that make sense?
I think that's super brilliant. Exactly.
If that's the case, yes, nice. Let's
you did. We're on a roll today.
I know. What is going on?
I applaud ourselves. It's so cool.
I like it.
Are you serious? So if you're telling me I'm going to go on a 4 now, it's just 4 stars. And we can still hover it.
Yeah, but not quite. Try hovering something less than a 3 now.
Oh, that is tricky. Yeah.
Basically, what we need to tell it is fill the current rating, but only if it's not hovered.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I think our two classes are kind of competing, right? So we have the hover effect and we have the saved rating, but now like even if I have a rating of 3 and if I hover the 1, I don't want star number 2 and 3 to be filled.
Yes.
How do we do that?
I mean, so for if we just have the stars, let's say we don't have a value yet, right? And we just have the empty stars, and when you hover it, they get filled. Like in the mode where we want to be able to update the stars, so to say. Like how would we, like, maybe let's look at displaying a value and editing the value in different, let's keep them separate for now. Let's just say we wanted to, so we got the hovering down, and let's say you now, like you hover 5 now, and then you click on the star. Mm-hmm. Like now we click.
Yeah.
What do we do then? Like then we kind of have to know that either that we clicked on the 5th star. Yeah, probably, like we clicked on the 5th star, and we have to send that value over to SuperBase now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have to, as we know from previous endeavors, we have to refresh our data.
Yes.
To get this updated 5 then, right? Which will then in turn have like our, so I think I'm going a very complicated way to say, I think we have like a display version of the stars.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And then when we hover, we can enter this other mode where you can hover and update. And if you didn't click and you go out, then it goes. So how, there's a way in React to know that you're hovering, right?
Do you mean the mouse enter thing? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's, yeah, I think that was my first way of thinking of kind of managing all of this in like 3 state
exactly
variables. But I really love that we are not doing this right now. I mean, we will need to use state, definitely. But I kind of like that we got around one of those states with the CSS magic.
All right.
So
but what if we make this figure a component
yes.
that takes either the rating or the static 5? So to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so quick pseudocode here, okay? So,
okay.
or like, I don't know, is the, maybe we actually need like a div or whatever. Like that, maybe. So, what? Here you can say on mouse enter.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I'm wondering if we can like render the component in one mode when we're hovering, and render the same component in another mode when we're not hovering, so to say, you know? So
okay, so
maybe there's the first use state in there.
Okay. So that would mean we would basically have a state called is hovering stars?
Yeah, is or star editing mode or whatever. And then it's true or false.
And then basically in like lines 82 we would display the one class if we are in hovering mode and the other one if we are not.
Exactly.
Nice. Let's do that. Let's try it. I think that makes sense.
All right. well, I'll snag this thing and put it down here and just call it star rating.
Yes.
Right? And then that just takes like a filled stars, which is stars, which is a number, and then that can return this entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this this can be that.
Yeah. Nice.
And this can also be that. No.
No, I think that's just always a 5.
That's just always a 5.
Yeah.
Right on. So in here we would say, let's see if we like star rating, and then it's like filled stars, like whatever, like let's chuck in rating.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then, and then oh, I can't have an empty on mouse enter. All right, you'll be there in a second.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
That's
rating 3.
Cool.
Okay.
But I guess we also need to pass that editing state, right, to the star rating component. Maybe we start
like
with
like this.
Yeah.
And then is editing, and then let's say false for the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Is editing is a Boolean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have this, that we have the hovery thing, if is editing is true.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And we have this if it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And this can be that way, I think.
Yeah, I think that still remains that way. Nice.
So now we should have, there should be nothing, right? Oh yeah. All right, there's nothing. That's cool.
That's
so
cool. Yes.
And if we swap this over now to have like a true,
Mm-hmm.
we have a second one, and that lets
Yes.
us fill everything.
Cool. Then we
Okay.
just need the state, right?
Yeah, now we just need the hover thing.
So we're gonna
How do we make that?
I would say just, what did you call it below? I think just is editing, right? So maybe use
Yeah, the
this.
component is called star rating,
Mhm.
and this the propis is editing. Yeah.
I'm gonna maybe call it is editing rating in this context. Is use state, and it's gonna be false by default, I would say. And then the only thing that should be missing is what you already started with the on mouse, what's it called, enter. We're gonna say set as editing to true, and then I guess the same thing in reverse for on mouse, what's it called, leave. Maybe. I'm not sure, it's complaining about something.
Um.
Okay. Everyone's curly braces, I think.
Yeah.
Like this. And then here we're gonna do the same thing. Set is editing rating false.
Wicked.
And then we're just gonna have 1. And is editing rating.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
I think so. And then we can get rid of the second one, right?
Yes.
Let's try. So beautiful.
Nice.
Look, it does exactly what we want you did. This is our Monday. And you said
happens.
you didn't sleep so well. Amazing.
I had a strong coffee.
That's always good.
Nice.
Hey, that's pretty nice. So,
this is so much fun. What I want to do, like, all day long. Build cute little star rating components.
Yeah, right? Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So now I reckon we need some sort of service to update stars specifically, ratings. Or how do we go about this?
Good question, because we only have like a update book sort of situation, right?
Yeah, so we
don't have like update rating, we only have update book. And update book takes the entire book and not just one property. But that's a good question, actually. If we can in SuperBase also... Oh, I always get confused. Do you know if it's put or patch?
I don't.
You know, like one of them is you update the entire object and the other is you update only parts of it. So...
if that's the case, I'm guessing patch.
Patch would be only updating parts of it, right?
It sounds like it. But this is where my competence ends. And I'm very happy that you're here because...
But I think, so I'm just looking at the SuperBase documentation for update data. And it looks like you can maybe also just update parts of the object.
Update should always be combined with filters to target the items you wish to update. Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. We're already doing it. But I mean,
in
this example here.
You mean we can just pass the rating?
Yeah.
And that's it? Like only pass the rating?
Why not? I mean, we need the ID, which we should have. We just might have to...
We do have the ID, I guess. We have the entire book here.
Yeah. So we might have to change our typings a little bit because our update book function right now takes an entire book except for the ID. So in our update book function in our service, we are passing a book, which is like a book object without the ID. Now we are a bit in like TypeScript magic land, but isn't that what we can use partial for, maybe?
You mean in our book component right here? Because we're in the book's dialog. No.
I mean, so where are you? No, I'm in the service right now.
Oh, you're in the service. Sorry, let's go check what Judith does. Yeah. Okay, we're following.
All right. So what I'm talking about in the update book function right now, our second parameter is the entire book, except for the ID, because we say like, what did we do there? Why didn't we just? Why are we passing the book ID and then the book without the ID? I don't get it. But it doesn't matter.
Coding is hard. I don't know.
Questioning past me decisions, but I think now we might be able to change it anyway, maybe. So what I'm thinking, instead of saying we are passing an entire book, we could try replacing the omit with a partial book, which basically means we can pass like any subset of the book object.
Ooh.
So that's what I'm hoping that will happen. So maybe then we will also not call it book, but something like fields to update. I don't know.
Right on.
I don't know. Let's first try if our function still works. So I'm just gonna say, change the rating of this book just to see. Oh yeah, that looks alright. So it's still working.
Cool.
I think. And now I think we can just try just passing the rating instead of the entire book when we click the star.
Really?
Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. No, it sounds really good. Mm-hmm.
So, let me think. So I'm jumping back to the book details dialog.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically let's write a little function, const update book rating, or just update rating. We're talking about books, I guess. It's gonna take the rating, just a number. And what does that do? Try catch first of all, I guess. Update book, and then the book ID. We have that, right? So we have the ID, and then we're just gonna pass rating like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It looks so simple. Well, whoops. And then we're just gonna.
Oh, I think you have to make it in a sync function.
Yes.
And then await, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or either, on the delete book, we're doing the chaining thing with the then and the
we
catch.
can also do that.
Like then you don't have to have the try catch around it, I suppose.
Yeah, let's do that maybe. So we're gonna say update book.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do we have a then? Probably, because we are probably going to do the fetch again.
Yes.
Did we have that somewhere? We did that. Didn't we do that in the main app component?
Yeah, so in the app we have fetch books. That's the right, like the entire thing. And then we have fetch books, get all books. Yeah, maybe it's a tad tricky because we're only getting all the books, and then if you click on one, we kind of pass that book into the dialogue.
Yeah.
Right?
what I'm thinking is maybe we even want to call this fetch books function in the parent component, so in the app component.
Yeah.
Because when we click the rating in the dialog, ideally we would want that rating to be reflected in the parent component as well, where we are displaying all the stars.
Yeah.
So what do? I guess we
pass the the function.
Yeah.
Like we need the fetch books function from app. We need that in our details dialog, in our books details dialog. I think we have to pass it and then we call it in the then.
Wait a second. I think we have everything we need because we are already in the book details dialog. We are already passing a handle on update books function, which we are calling when we delete a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
all we have to handle update. Yes. Handle it's update is fetch books.
Isn't it?
Very cool.
Okay, so let's just say handle
update
on update books.
Oh my god.
All right. And then we're just gonna catch the error.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're just gonna do it like this. Console dot error.
Cool.
Okay. All right, we have a function.
Now
doesn't look too bad. Let's call it. Where do we call it? On our div, right?
Or on the individual star. Maybe. Because we know which number the star represents, so to say. And then if you click on star number 4, we know it's a 4.
Right, we have to do it on the individual star. Right, because otherwise we don't know the number. But then we have to, I guess, pass an on-click function to the star rating component because we put that into its own separate component, which is nice. But that means it has like no awareness of the props of its parent.
Yep.
So are we just gonna say on click star maybe?
We can, like, I actually made this into a component because I thought we have to render it twice, but we don't even have to. Like, we can just be super pragmatic and just put it back and get rid of the component. We can keep it, like, whatever you think, really.
We can keep it. Yeah, I was also thinking we would render it in different places, but you made a very good point that in, like, our main app component where we are rendering all the books, we would kind of have like a hover, click, pointy sort of conflict because we made the entire book clickable. But then we want like kind of something else to happen when you click the star. So that would be the advantage of having the interaction of like changing the rating only in the dialog and not on the main component.
Yeah, but we can still use the component to render, right? Like to show the stars.
Exactly. Then basically is editing would always be false. That's actually nice. As if we had anticipated it. Which we clearly haven't, I would say. But also we have like the book editing dialog where we still have the number input.
Exactly, there we need it as well.
We definitely want to reuse it, I think. Okay, then let's keep the component and then click star. Oh, what's that? A function. It takes a, let's say, star index, something, returns void, right?
That's cool.
Number. It should be a number. And
awesome.
then basically, so if we click the star, where is it? I'm going to say on click. That's going to call on click star.
And then pass the key, I suppose.
Key or key plus one? That's like how
key plus one. Key plus one.
Key plus one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Key.
Same as in the CSS selector.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is it happy? Yes, it's happy. And then here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have to pass that function, right? So we have on click star. What's that doing? So we have our function up. Yeah, that's then gonna call update rating, right? Is that
I think
how
so.
it all comes together?
I'm yeah. I'm
on
buzzing
click
with
star.
excitement.
Star index update rating star index.
Well, but the star index? What's the star index here?
That one we're gonna get from the star component, I think.
Hold on, but don't you like on here? Don't you just pass like update rating without anything?
Yeah, we totally can. Like, I think my syntax here is overly complicated. I think I can just do this because it has the same signature. Oh, two phrases.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah? Ah, okay, cool. Shall we try?
It works, but not
It does
quite.
work. Did you try it already?
Yes, I did.
It totally works. Well, almost.
See, I mean, it works. The updating works, which is nice. Like,
You can
I love
see it
that
in
we
the
can
background.
You can see it in the background, but we want it reflected in our component as well, right?
Yeah. How can we now? I wonder why it's not updating actually. Like our component that we have open.
Okay, let us think. Okay, we are updating the rating. Then we are calling handle on update books in the parent component. So we are jumping back to app.tsx.
I have an idea, Judith.
Oh yes.
We're passing the selected book. And I think we're like, so we get the list of all the books now, the new one, but the selected book is still like an old copy maybe?
Yes.
And we have to update the selected book, I suppose. So we set the selected book when we open the dialog. Right?
Yes.
I mean, we could totally put something in handle update that like checks the ID of the currently selected book.
Yeah.
Then grabs this ID book from the new list of books and
Yes.
or something like this.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So what? Like we go here and say const last book and say like last book ID and then go like selected book dot ID, and then we say set selected book with books. That's the like, because like we're updating set books here, right? The state set books, so we grab from here, and then oh, but how do I get like a specific book by the ID?
Yeah, we don't have that yet. I was just checking, so...
Well, then we probably need some sort of reducer or a filter thing.
Yeah, yes. Like my back-end colleague would tell me now that it would be much cleaner to simply fetch the one book from the server. So...
Yeah. Proper, yeah. All right.
So what I'm thinking is we have our book service and we have a function get all books. So far we don't have a function which just gets one book by ID. So maybe
exactly.
That's what we're missing.
Yeah.
But would that help us? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I think, well, in that case, we could even, instead of passing a selected book to our details dialog, we could go like that route and just pass the ID of the book that we want, and in the dialog fetch our own book. So to say.
Yes. Yes. We could do that. What makes me not so happy about that is that we would be fetching twice. So we would be fetching all the books in our main component and then fetch the single book again in the dialog. I don't know if we want that.
I also don't know. I think since we're still in prototyping, I vote for anything that's easiest, really.
Yeah,
so maybe
let's just do stuff and see what happens.
Are these really the IDs? I mean, so okay, like at least here this whole thing with the selected book ID kind of works already.
Yes. I think probably first of all we have to move all of this into the then block just to make sure it runs.
Oh yeah. Oh.
We fetch the books.
Very good point.
And then let's think. So we could simply, I think, do
could totally do a filter here.
Or more like a filter or a find, so we could do like
or find, yeah.
Basically updated selected book, right? And that would be books dot find what are we doing? Book to dot ID is equal to last book ID, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful.
And then we simply set what did we call it? Selected.
Yeah.
Book.
To updated selected book.
Updated selected book.
I'm 100% confident that this works.
I think it works.
Let's try it?
It's a different question, but I think it should work. Maybe. Let's try it.
Let's try it. Okay, let's hold. Does it work? Did you try? Oh, hold on, let's reload. Okay, so here we have one. Here's another book, 4-star rating. Going to turn it into 3 now, and it's still 4.
Does it work?
It actually kind of does. Yeah, it does. Oh no, but
sometimes.
It only sometimes works.
Oh no, we don't like it when it sometimes works.
But it works every second time.
Good enough.
It works every second click. It really works only second. I swear to God. So I click once now, nothing happens. I click again, and it's 5. I click once, nothing happens. I click twice, it happens. Yeah. Now, if that's not something that every programmer loves. Why? I guess, well, so I guess we need some console statements.
I think we need some console statements. I wouldn't be surprised if it is something about like the state and the value of the selected book.
So
Maybe.
let's click here. Okay, it fetched the books. It fetched the books again. All right, and then so I don't know. Let's here updated selected book.
Yes, exactly. That's what I want to see.
Right? So well, that is the updated selected book. Interesting.
Fetch the books.
Maybe updates the rating only, just to see what that is. So, oh no, sorry, not on the selected book, not on the state, but on the console log. So I just want to see the rating.
Mm-hmm.
Update selected book is possibly undefined. Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah, but that's fine.
Okay. So,
just do this.
all right, so in here we have a 5 now. I'm going to make it a 1. Aha! So on the first click, this is still a 5. And I bet if I click again now, yeah, it's the 1. So we get the so we fetch the books, then we get the last book ID.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, like you were mentioning the race conditions with the use state, right? Do you think, so we did fetch books, and fetch books, like it gets all the books and then it updates the state with books.
Yes.
And so once this function resolves, we go and want to grab the updated book. And I wonder if by then this is already the new set of books, or if it's still the old copy. Because if it's still the old one, like if we're kind of one tick too early before the state updated with the new list of books, we're still getting the old rating. And then the second time around, it will have updated and we get the 1.
Could also... Yeah, because I think it could definitely be about that. I'm a bit confused because I was thinking, since we moved all of that into the then block, the fetch books should be done, right? By the time we execute. but then setbooks also has like, I don't know, funky side effects that I don't even grasp completely.
Yeah.
So we could also move all this functionality out of the then block of fetch books and into a use effect that gets called when books changes, which makes even more sense, because that is essentially what we want. Like if our books array changes, we want to update the selected book if we have one. So that's essentially a side effect. So
cool. True.
Should we give it a go? I'm just gonna try it and see what happens. So basically, we're gonna do a use effect. Like so, which we call when books changes. And first of all, if we don't have a selected book, we don't want anything to happen, right? But if we have a selected book...
Joe, you can grab everything from up here, no?
Yeah.
Like
right.
all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like just bam.
So, yeah, throw that in there.
And then we don't even have to do the then part on fetch books.
Yep. And then it's probably complaining that selected book is also a dependency. Yeah.
Amazing. All right.
Did you remove the then stuff already? Yes, perfect. Nice.
Okay, let's try.
Let's
try. On here. Beautiful. Works like a charm. You did?
Oh.
I applaud your genius. So good.
Is that how you do it?
I'm honestly not sure. You know, one thing I was wondering, so we have a function, it's called handle update, but the only thing it does is fetch books. And that is a function already, like next to it. So I'm kind of wondering if can't we just call fetch books right away instead of handle update, because it's not doing anything else. That's something to ponder about. We don't have to solve this now. Like, I think we stretched our time limit for the day anyway, but...
Oh, yes. Holy.
But this is very cool. I mean, look at how... This is such a nice interaction. Like, you see the four.
Yes, so cute.
You can totally hover things, right? Oh, you know what? One edge case. You can't set 0 stars again.
Yeah, but you can't do that on Amazon either, so that's fine.
Okay.
It's like
cool.
our threshold. But yeah, that is
awesome.
true.
Yeah, but whatever. Like, I think let's call this. Let's wrap this one up. I'm actually very happy with how far we got. Like, we have hash selector. We have like flipping between editing and display mode. We made it a component that we can use again in the 2 other places in the next episode. Like, we're updating the data. I think all of this is pretty cool, I have to say, because remember, we're still in prototyping land. Like,
oh, absolutely.
So I really like what happened today in this one.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
I didn't think we would get this to work today.
Yeah, and in the next one we can reap the fruits of our genius and put it in all the other places and like see what we do with this sort of functionality. Again, like, I really loved your thing about the partial, that we're just shoving in the rating piece of the book, and SuperBase is fine with that. That is very cool. I thought we have to have like a specific thing, and so that's very cool.
Yeah,
I think
that was really nice, and I think it was like a good mix of things as well. It was like super nitty-gritty CSS, But then also we got into the details of SuperBase a little bit, and only updating parts of the object and TypeScript partial stuff. So yeah, pretty nice. But yeah, that was my feeling, that like this little component would actually be quite advanced. But we did it, so that's nice, and I think that's a good place to stop.
Very cool. All right. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll have like a little summer break for 2 weeks. Sorry about that. But then we'll continue in August. And we'll put our star ratings everywhere. And I think maybe also, since we're looking at a summer break, something you foreshadowed in a discussion after recording last time, we are thinking if we bring this first season of our coding session to an end, because we are approaching to have a virtual bookshelf where you can CRUD everything, and we have like a special little update thing with our ratings in there. And then maybe let's see what you all think if we should update this to a bigger framework and make this production ready, because that could be something that we get into if you're interested. So let's see. Right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Cool.
Very cool. See you in a couple of weeks. And yeah, thanks again. Ciao.
Bye.